Hello, I'm Mr. SilverFox,
And I'm Mrs. SilverFox, and you're listening to the SilverFox Swingset.
a podcast where we document the ins, outs, and upside downs of the swinger lifestyle from a beginner's perspective.
This podcast is recommended for the 18 and over crowd and contains adult content. So if you're not a grown-up, please come back when you're of legal consenting age.
Welcome back, everybody, to episode 4 of the SilverFox Swingset. I'm Mr. SilverFox.
And I'm Mrs. SilverFox. And in today's episode, we're going to talk about a game we like to play both in our regular lives and in the lifestyle called Let's Make a Deal.
That's one of my favorite games to play.
It's one of the best, worst games of all time with the potential for great, wonderful learning between two partners or
Epic end-all battles.
like when the streams cross.
But before we get to that, we've been on a few play dates.
Mm-hmm.
We've been to a few events.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, which do you want to talk about first?
Let's talk about our events first.
So we went to Secret Desires, and we had an amazing time there.
Amazing.
The owners of the event said that we were more than welcome to give them a shout out. So, hey, to you two, thank you so much for throwing an amazing event. It was such a pleasure to get to see you guys.
Mm-hmm.
The owner's wife, very sexy lady.
Oh, don't get me started.
Oh my goodness, I can't say enough about her.
Them titties, though.
Very much enjoyed his company as well.
Mm-hmm.
Had a just spectacular time. 2-night event. What was the theme first night?
Oh gosh, what was the theme first night?
Ugly
Sweater.
Ugly Sweater.
Wait. We should talk about what it even is. So Secret Desires is a hotel takeover that happens in Sandusky. So if you're in Ohio, it's a hot little spot. You can stay right there at the event. You don't have to leave the hotel for anything. You can get food delivered there, but they do food there too. There's a pool. Lots of fun stuff happens. Lots of sexy people.
There's a hot tub there.
Oh, only one of us knows about the hot tub.
It was a wonderful event in the hot tub. I got the pleasure of being with 2 lovely ladies and one of their husbands. And again, guilty as hell of making out.
You're such a make-out whore.
I know. It was worth it. So I had a great night the first night. Ugly sweater. I did not wear an ugly sweater.
I wore what I thought was going to be a hot sweater dress, but it was fucking ugly. I hate that thing. I'll never wear it again. When I washed it, I thought if I just shrink it, but no, there's no saving it. It was like when you order a cute sweater dress from Wish. what you expect versus what I got. A mess. But you know what? Still turned out, worked out great.
But we originally met the owners at a Euphoria event, and they invited us, of course, to their event. And what can I say? A home run?
Oh, for sure.
Well organized, well run. We did know a fair amount of people already going into it.
That was awesome. From
previous events, so it was nice to be able to reconnect. Very sexy people.
100%.
Very sexy.
Oh, and a thing happened, too, that I feel like I've talked about before where I was worried that I was going to see someone from, like, my real life or my past life at an event, and it happened. So the instant they walked in, I turned towards Mr. SilverFox and literally said, "Oh shit, these people know me from a past life." And he said, "Is that a good thing or a bad thing?" And I said, "I do not know, but we are about to find out." So thankfully, it turned out to be good.
Well, and the odd thing is that we both knew them from our past.
Oh, yeah.
But completely different reasons in different times that you and I didn't even know each other.
Mm-hmm.
So what an unlikely event that occurred.
Wild. And honestly, sparked a great friendship. Like, that weekend at SD, we made solid exactly what we set out to do. We made solid friendship connections with people that we want to hang out with in real life. And that to me is, that's the hugest swing forward that we could hope for was, for that to actually happen and for us to connect with people, in an elusive four-way connection where I can say, not just one or two couples, but quite a few that we met there that I feel like, we're already hanging out with in real life.
Most definitely. What amazing connections we made. Did the elusive four-way connection happen? I would have to say wholeheartedly yes.
I would say so, most certainly.
It was phenomenal to experience and continue to keep that relationship going in the background.
Mm-hmm.
So, our audience is always looking for an update at our events. What happened?
What happened?
I'm going to have to lean on you to take it from here.
Oh. All right. There's a lot of things that I won't say, but I will say that we are done watching from the sidelines. We're done keeping our hot little asses on the bench and keeping it warm. We are out on that field and we are playing it.
We definitely threw a touchdown.
You're cute.
So we had a fantastic first night at the event. I woke up fairly early the next morning because I only needed apparently 2.5 hours of sleep before mimosas.
So stupid.
But I did get an opportunity to make a more personal outside of event connection with some of our friends that morning.
Mm-hmm. That's one thing I really like about 2-day events. They take up a lot of time. You have to get different outfits. You got to think about, you can't just wear cozy pajamas. You got to wear sexy pajamas. So you got to have 2 days worth. It's a lot. For me, it's a lot. For you, I feel like you grab a pair of sweatpants and like 2 nice outfits and you're good to go. And I'm packing like 3 rolling bags.
That's pretty much our agenda. I got everything in a backpack. We bring crates and
I do. The Instacrate. Don't get me started. Do not. It is so freaking handy.
What we've realized from the lifestyle is we need a lot bigger luggage.
Oh my God. I should have put that on my Christmas. Oh, well, it's too late now. It's fine. Whatever.
And then the second night, the theme was naughty office party.
Oh, yeah.
Oof.
Oof.
I'll tell you what, some of the lovely office people that night. Now, I did happen to come with a naughty intern.
Sneaky. Except because the outfit was plaid, everyone assumed that I was a schoolgirl. Everyone said that. I hate that. That's not what I was trying to be. That's so cliche. That's not my favorite thing. But whatever. I nailed that outfit. And can we talk about the weird celebrity thing that kept happening?
I still don't wrap my head around that
I
one.
do not either. I do not get it.
So there was a comparison with Mrs. SilverFox made with Donna from that 70s show.
But not from that 70s. The same actress, whatever her name is.
Orange is the New Black.
Yeah, where she's like some super lesbian. And don't get me wrong, like, whatever her real life name is, she is a babe. And I really should have looked it up, but whatever. But it was not just one person or 2 people or 3. We're talking like 4 or 5 people that weren't even in the same room connected that told me the same thing. And I don't get it. I wish I could say, I really do favor her, but I don't. I don't understand. And I've never before heard that in my life until that night and the next night. So weird.
So I went as I guess, just business person. Hell, I just wanted to wear a nice tie.
You did too. That was a really nice outfit that got destroyed. That you can never wear again. Why? No. Oh, should I? It should be me.
I don't think you. I mean, if you want to share with our audience, I guess we should.
If I want to share with the audience that you ruined a perfectly good, beautiful, brand new shirt that you could have wore like to a wedding
I can't
or some outdoor event because You let somebody get red lipstick on it?
Well, so
that was
somebody
nice
else committing the act to me is me doing it to myself. I really don't see the parallels. That's a subject for a different time. We should move on down the road.
I see the segue you're making, where you're making me be quiet at the same time. I like it.
So definitely an amazing event. Thank
fun.
you so much to the owners of Secret Desires. We look forward to running into you again. Just such an amazing time.
Mm-hmm.
Again, we took some amazing relationships outside of that, and from that party, we were invited to a house party.
Oh, yeah.
So that was super fun. We did go.
Yes. We ventured out.
Following weekend, correct?
I don't know. All the weekends blend together.
It was the following weekend. So we had a great time there.
Fun.
Came home that night. Had just amazing sex, for the record. I don't know. Something just happened there. We went to the next level.
There was a lot. A lot happened.
Well, we also had amazing reconnection sex following the Secret Desires event.
Mm-hmm.
Reliving the whole weekend, our experiences, just being completely open and candid with each other is just a phenomenal attribute that has come from the lifestyle, from our experience. So
yeah, it's a slippery little catalyst for things happening.
But amazing.
I hit my head on the dresser.
Oh.
I almost got a concussion. I almost died.
I don't know about that, but
I'm pretty sure.
It was getting wild in there.
I was seeing some kind of light that was drawing me to it.
We should talk about, before we move on to the house party, there was a white elephant gift exchange that took place at Secret Desires. And that was our first. I've never been involved with one till then.
I've never been involved in even in a vanilla one, I don't think.
Correct, me either.
So it was all new to me. So
when we found out that we were, I think, the second to last couple to go, which puts us in a good position to...
Great position.
Get a great gift. So Mrs. SilverFox had her heart set on a particular toy that we thought was already stolen 2 times before us. I wasn't present for what ensued.
Yeah, where were you? What were you? Don't answer that.
But I had stolen the gift for what I had thought the 3rd time, and it caused a little bit of a ruckus. They didn't exactly want to depart with it.
Mm-mm.
And, some propositions that were maybe deemed inappropriate in a vanilla setting.
Things were thrown out. To
keep the gift. I accepted the offer, but I wasn't parting with the gift, so we both didn't win in the end there. You got the gift, and then I actually left because I went beet red because of some of the propositions, and I needed some air.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. So I stuck around because... I had to protect my gift that I thought was mine and nobody could touch. And then I think it was like one turn later, it got stolen from me. And then I made nasty propositions and it did not work. And part of me is sad that you weren't in there for that, but part of me is glad that you weren't in there for that, because when I tell you I bratted so fucking hard, it does not even begin to describe the way I behaved when that got taken from me. So
we did run into that couple the next day. We did not forgive them. I just want to be perfectly clear.
Yeah, if you know who you are, if you guys are listening and you were at a white elephant gift exchange at Secret Desires where you may or may not have stolen a really nice vibrating butt plug, you guys are assholes. And you're my arch nemesis.
And just real quick, speaking of listeners, I would say we have been just completely humbled by the amount of people that have taken the time to listen to our story and just listen to us babble on about anything.
Oh, shit. It's absolutely crazy.
Really, a big thank you to everyone out there that's actually reached out to us to tell us they enjoy us, and we really enjoy the feedback and the connections we make just from people that listen to us on the podcast.
Yeah,
and
huge.
it's been tremendous to hear that some people, we've influenced their lives to open up their sex positive discussions and share that with us. And so, big thank you to everybody. Gosh, that's a heartfelt thank you. I think for both the Silver Foxes.
Yeah, for sure.
So, moving on to we went the following weekend to a house party and had a good time there. Probably got into a little drinking myself. You weren't drinking that night, so I decided to go a little harder in the paint. One of our great friends. This guy is so freaking amazing. I hope I get to.
We
hang
should
out
have
with
them
him
over
some
and
more.
just interview him.
I would think so. I would like to get his permission.
Oh my God, that would be so much. They could come over for dinner. We could have drinks. That would be so much fun.
I think
so
their
fun.
story together, just everything they do in their personal lives. I don't want to bring it up so they're singled out. What they actually do for their business without their permission.
But they have a sweet ass business.
Yes, and if we could, those are two amazing people.
That would be fun. We should write that down.
We certainly should. So after the house party, what do we do after that? We're just kind of recouping at the moment.
Yeah, we're just recouping.
Looking forward to New Year's.
We had a sexy weekend. We gotta take a break.
Yeah, we did. And one of the things that, being new, that was always, I guess, a topic of discussion for us is the transition.
Oh, yeah.
And I wanted to touch on that briefly with you, Mrs. SilverFox, about, we know what we all go to these parties for. We have our intentions on our mind and our desires at our forefront. And one of the bigger questions that I guess we had as a couple is, how do we transition from the conversation to the intention? Sure. And, what do we say? Do we try to be funny? Because, I'd say we kill just about everything with humor.
Yeah.
We're definitely...
It's my best attribute and my favorite defense mechanism, so it's on all the time.
And I'd say I'm pretty much making...
You're funny as hell. Just face it.
I enjoy having a good time. I mean, we definitely go everywhere to have a good time and bring that with us. So, but we did discover that when we make a true connection, a four-way connection, that it just... And this is our experience only that we can share from, that transition from conversation to intention seems to move rather organic. And so
organically, I think. And that to me kind of tells us to hey, this is right. This is okay.
And not being in a hurry to get there, I think, has been a very important thing that we've encompassed into our steps. And of course, we can only speak from our experiences, not to anyone else's experience. Sure. So, but to share our experiences with everybody is, I guess, why we're here. And once, we had a lot of questions what happens after? What happens just before? And to find out that it happens the way that I guess it should happen.
Sure.
Was pretty refreshing to find out.
Yeah. That took a lot of pressure off of me having to... It let me get out of my own head about it because it was just kind of happening.
And I think that's a logical concern to have.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it's a fear, but it's ooh, no, what do we do?
Oh, yeah, now that we think about that. Yeah, sure.
And we're kind of a go with the flow, group of people.
To a fault. to a fucking fault.
For sure. But I will definitely say there's one thing you can always say about the Silver Foxes, though. We show up.
We show the fuck up. If I could clap my hands while I said it and it wouldn't be too loud on this microphone right now, I would be clapping my hands. In a listen up bitch kind of a way.
So that's what we've been up to. We got plans coming up, which we'll probably touch on later in the podcast. But let's get to game time. I want to talk about the game.
Yeah. Let's make a deal.
So, yeah, let's talk about how we first came about it. And this is something in our vanilla part of our marriage that we've developed, and we've shared it with quite a few people at events and, our personal lives, private lives, everywhere. When people talk to us about maybe some, little tensions in the relationship, over small shit that we used to get worked up about at the beginning, but we developed this game. And we just kind of want to share it with everybody. You don't have to institute it, but it's kind of fun.
Yeah, you don't have to love it, but everybody, I feel like that you talk to about it says, oh, I wish I would have heard of this before. So I feel like we'll just talk about it, and then people will be able to hear about it.
So let's start with ladies. Is it safe to say that if you got to pick up my dirty clothes on the side of the bed day in and day out, that it's just kind of draining on you, Mrs. SilverFox? Do you think that's fair to say, that constantly having to do something I'm
okay, so
of?
You're cute, but I feel you trying to bait my little ass with your question, because the thing that you want to talk about is the thing that I've heard you complain to people about. So let's get past your bullshit and get to the heart of let's make a deal, and then we'll come back to your bullshit.
Fair enough. So we have a proposition when we do something ourselves that the other person is just about fed up with, no matter how little it is. You're tired of doing it. So we come to the table to each other and we say, it's time to play Let's Make a Deal.
Yes.
And
so
you're
much
either
power.
Extremely excited about the game, or you're extremely nervous about the game. But we've agreed, rather than get to a point where you're tired of picking up that stuff after somebody or doing that repetitive action that somebody's left for you, that we talk about it first and say, let's make a deal. And I, by right, can say, I want this one thing to stop. I'm tired of doing this over and over. And
so here's where we'll come back to your bullshit a little bit. Let's just say, for the sake of this argument and what I've heard you say, that your thing is picking up a wet towel off of the floor in the bathroom. Because I like the way that I heard you describe it to someone when you said, you know how sometimes you just pick up that wet towel off the floor every day for 13 years, and some days that towel feels so fucking heavy in your hand, and you think, I could use the let's make a deal and bring this to the table and say I never want to have to pick up another towel off the floor. But in turn,
Mrs. SilverFox gets to tell me what she wants to stop.
And it can be anything.
The nuclear option is on the table.
It's always on the table. So if you've got a husband that loves to do something that you don't really care for, like maybe he plays poker with the boys on Fridays and he has a few too many drinks and he needs picked up and you don't like it, but it happens because it just happens and that's who he is. If he loves that thing could be on the table.
So when you get to thinking about that towel, and as you're picking it up, how much do you love Friday night poker? Is that towel really that heavy? Did that 5 seconds really put you in a damn mood? I don't think so. So we figured out a little way that kind of stuff, just doing things for one another, just becomes a part of our life. And we don't argue about it to an extent. But every now and again...
Not to an extent. I mean, I don't want to be a showboater, but we really don't argue.
That's true.
I mean, I pick on you, and I push your buttons, and I brat pretty hard. But, I mean, I don't really argue with you.
Most of the time, it's just pure discussion.
Yeah.
But what this game has allowed us to do is, I would definitely say we don't play Let's Make a Deal that much anymore. And rather than get to that point, we just discuss it. Yeah. And it ends pretty quick.
The way that we continue to improve our communication just not just every year that we're married, every year that we're together, it's like every single day. that it becomes less and less of a game. But when we did play it, it was dangerous and fun. And sometimes we still play it. And I would say that we apply it to the lifestyle all the time.
Everywhere I imagine we are, we play it to a little degree or another. But when you pointed out to me the similarities, I was like, yeah, that's exactly what we're doing in the lifestyle.
Yeah.
So why don't you give us an example?
So, if let's say there's a couple where you are really interested and maybe I'm not, and maybe they have play alone permissions, even though we're not really too, I guess, I don't know. Well, I don't know where we are on that just because we've never done it. Who knows? But, let's say that situation arose and you still wanted to do a thing. Well, okay. But, there's got to be, the law of reciprocity. There has to be a back and forth there. So I'm going to get something too. If you're going to get something, I'm going to get something. I don't know what that something is. Maybe I do in that moment. Maybe not.
But it definitely puts a lot of things into perspective.
Yeah.
In no matter what, because if you're going to make a big decision like that, what can be a big decision back? And is that worth leading to something negative or something positive? It's hard to say, but it allows you to really take the other person's consideration
sure
into your own. And that works tremendously for us.
I would say it does. Yeah, in all aspects, it kind of always has. It's I don't know. It feels like a very equal playing field every time we play it. Even though that nuclear option is on the table. Even though that if you say something to me and I'm in a mood and you say it just the right way, I do have a little bit of inner petty bitch kind of tucked away in there that maybe might think it, but not that I would ever make you stop doing something that, like, you know what I mean? I couldn't imagine asking you to like not play video games when you wanted to, or not watch Ancient Aliens, even though 8 episodes in a row can be literally the worst.
Honestly, I understand what you're saying, and I don't know. Sometimes the nuclear option's on the table. That's all I'm saying.
You do have to watch out for that nuclear option. But when if you're really afraid of that nuclear option, then maybe that game is not for you in your relationship or in your everyday life or in your whatever. But I don't know. It's fun, and I like telling that story, and people seem to like hearing it. And it's a fun game to play. It's sexy and dangerous.
It really is. It really is. But it diffuses almost like when you're upset in the moment, too, because you sit down at the table, you say your demand, and you think it's a hard-hitting demand, like, yeah, you got to see my point of view. You got to see my point of view. And then you get that shit-eating grin on your face and look back at me, and I'm like, oh, my God, I'm so far over my head on this one. It's fun, but it really takes it. Then, you start laughing with each other, and then it just opens up to the discussion. Next thing you know, you just realize, man, was that stupid? Let's move on.
Well, and I also want to point out, in all fairness, that since I overheard you using the towel example, that since that day, I bet you could count on one hand the number of times you've had to pick up a wet towel off the bathroom floor.
Touche. Game well played.
Thank you, good sir.
Team SilverFox. So that works in our life. That's a dynamic that we definitely put in play, both in our private and lifestyle communities.
Sure.
We did also get permission to shout out the business of the toy.
Oh.
Have we talked about that?
Okay, so I think it was last episode that I said I really wanted to get a vibrating cock ring. So there was a pure romance consultant at the SD event, and I met with her and found exactly what I wanted.
Before we go any farther on that, though, can we just say what an amazing human being they are?
Oh my God. You said they. They both. Yes. They're not one human being. Her and her significant other. Yeah, two absolutely amazing people for sure. So she got me what I needed, and we were able to use it. Was it the same night or the next? I don't know. All the nights blended together, but we definitely got to use it.
What do you think of it?
What? You are, they're great. It was great. It was a really great investment. I'm glad we did that. That was a really smart thing for us to want to do.
What a well-made item. I will say that.
Yeah, for sure. That's a good time.
Didn't know how I would like it, but well received.
Well received. Everything's going to be perfectly fine.
So I want to get a T-shirt made with that on it. Everything's going to be perfectly fine. So, where are we going to be for New Year's Eve?
I think we're going to be where we're always being, which is elusive.
So, Swinging Foward. What do you remember doing last time? We are terrible at remembering what we did last time.
We should write that down. I know one thing was the toy, which we did.
Check.
What was the other thing? Oh, I remember what the other thing was. We did that.
Check.
Done did that. And I can't remember anything else really.
I did not have the house party yet, in which I described in the last one.
No, it's, you know what? I see the work that goes into events and house parties, and it makes me less and less want to host a house party unless I hire someone. Like, I need someone to come cater it. Like maybe a hot girl that puts sushi on. Have you ever seen that? That would be, maybe not sushi. I don't know. Okay, no. That's a bad idea.
Let's not go that route.
I instantly changed my mind.
But we did check off all the other things.
Yeah.
So what are we going to do swinging forward from here?
What are we going to do? So I kind of just want to continue doing what we're doing. I mean, we're having fun. We're meeting people. We're making, genuine connections with people, genuine friendships. We're making plans. I feel like we're doing exactly what we should be doing. I feel great about where we're at.
I feel amazing where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
These connections, these people are so wonderful to be around.
And, can I say what I really think attributes to that, which is another point that I'm constantly making to people, is that when you go to these different events, there's some overlap of people that know each other, and that's true whether we go 2 hours away, an hour away, 3 hours away, 4 hours away. There's always a little bit of an overlap, especially with people who've been doing this for a long time. So sometimes I feel like the reason that we're making these connections is because we're doing different things. Like, yeah, we're seeing the overlap of people that we have already met, that we know, that, are cool to be around, but we're always meeting new people in those circles too, because we don't ever stick to one thing. Everyone thinks their thing is the best thing, which I respect. I love things too, but what I love about the things is the things, all the things.
Well, everybody's bringing something different to the table.
Yeah, it's different energies, it's different vibes, it's different, themes, and I think that variety is what keeps it kind of cool for me.
I like the different experiences. Change, always a good thing that we've talked about. Just getting to get out and just be with all different kinds of people and hear their life stories or whatever. It's just a blast.
Yeah, I meet a lot of really interesting people.
And sexy.
Sexy.
What a bonus.
Super bonus.
What a bonus. You know, we've come a long way since episode 1.
Sure.
And
I feel like in a lot of ways.
Yeah, a tremendous amount of ways. Our dynamic rule set, the way we apply ourselves to every event.
The way we communicate.
The way we communicate is
together is
tremendous. Sex has been phenomenal.
I mean, I feel like it was
you.
always phenomenal. Now it's just, I don't know. Now I'm not afraid to try stuff.
I enjoyed seeing your confidence grow.
Yeah, that's one thing I really like too, and it spills over into my everyday life. And I feel like we talked about that the other day, where I said, when I go to the grocery store and there's a whole bunch of cars there, I used to have to sit in my car for like anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes and just kind of chill out for a second before I went in, and almost talk myself into going in, because there's a lot of people there. And the last few times, and it's the holidays, people are crazy. Every grocery store is crazy, especially where we live. And I feel like I don't have to sit in my car and think about walking in because I need a gallon of milk. It doesn't take me longer to talk myself into it than it does to actually do the thing anymore. And that's one thing that I really appreciate about the lifestyle in general. I think that's really done a lot for my, I don't know.
Well, we saw positivity and people making us feel really good about ourselves.
Yeah.
And then in turn, just trying to take that same energy and pass it along to everybody else that's around.
Sure.
I mean, it's something fulfilling that we got into the lifestyle for, and what an awesome thing to be able to experience.
Sure.
And be able to share with each other has just been taking everything to the next level.
Aww.
But I appreciate the ride you've put me on.
And
the rides you've given me.
I appreciate you. I appreciate us. I definitely appreciate the way that we communicate together. That's huge.
I definitely love going to these events and being able to see everything about you and just grow day in and day out. Has been an amazing ride. Thank you for taking me on that.
Yeah, this is a good time. We're out here doing things.
So we're going to be elusive, and we will hopefully announce our New Year's plans after we release the episode, unfortunately, for our listeners. And we'll find out how that weekend goes for us and be glad to share it. But let's just say it sounds like everything's going to be what?
Oh, God. It's going to be perfectly fine. Oh, happy holidays, too.
Yeah, happy holidays. Merry Christmas to all the listeners coming up. Hope you have an amazing Christmas. Hope you have an amazing New Year's Eve.
I know I will.
I can't wait to see you dressed up. I can't wait to see everyone dressed up. And
I can't wait for you to see me undressed.
I promise you that I will occur. We're going to get rid of the blue hair, which Miss SilverFox has right now. And we're going to go to something a little different, which we'll also share after New Year's in our next episode.
But you will be able to pick me out of a crowd of people.
I am so looking forward to it. I can't wait.
I'm really excited too.
Everything from there, I guess this is where we're going to go ahead and...
Yeah, let's shut this shit down.
So as you've heard me say in the past, if anything, we can have a good night. If everything, we'll have an amazing one.